first of all, we're gonna ask you guys what is carbon, and like raise your hand if you have an idea what carbon is. Stand.
It's like a gas that's like in the air.
Okay. Anybody else? Wanna put yourself out there?
Oh.
Okay. Never mind then. Okay, go ahead. Okay. There's a big oh gosh, the sound's not on. Okay. Can we turn the sound on?
Don't turn it on.
No. My arms
So with that, in order to really understand the topic, we have to understand a little bit of the level of complexity just below that topic. The level of complexity just below biology is chemistry. And unless you're a biochemist, in which case you would argue that it's biochemistry. Either way, we're going to have to know a little bit of chemistry in order to get through biology. So that, my friends, is where we're going to start. I am a collection of organic molecules called Hank Green. Organic compounds are a class of compounds that contain carbon. Carbon is this sexy little mix.
Okay, so that it explains carbon. It's really funny, but it's not working. Okay. It basically talks about how carbon is an element, and it bonds with it can bond with like a bunch of different molecules at like one time, and yeah, it talks a lot about carbon, but we'll try to show that later. Okay. Okay, the next thing we're talking about is the carbon cycle. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do this thing again. Hopefully you guys will help out more. But what do you think the carbon cycle is? Brain.
Carbon does, like how it go around.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
It's the cycle in which carbon affects other gases.
Okay. Okay, this is the carbon cycle. About the best picture you can find of the carbon cycle. The ones that are blue are processes that create or take carbon away, and the ones that are gray are like carbon stores, like things that keep carbon or
Store it.
Okay, next. Okay, carbon processes. Let me give you a list of the carbon processes to get like some. Burning fossil fuels, decay, respiration, rock formation, weathering, photosynthesis, phytoplankton, deep circulation, sinking sediment, and burning. Those are the carbon processes. Okay. Now we're going to talk about each one of the carbon processes. The first one's burning fossil fuels. Okay. Fossil fuels were formed like a really long time ago. Okay, fossil fuels are formed from dead plants or animals that were like buried or compressed, and then like it turned eventually into oil, coal, or natural gases. The carbon in these were fixed. They were totally locked out of the carbon cycle. They weren't going anywhere. And when we burn fossil fuels, carbon goes into the atmosphere. So that's one of the ways that you can create carbon. Okay. So the next one's decay.
Alright, decay.
When we talk about decay, we talk about carbon dating.
Well, okay. Carbon dating is like a way of like figuring like old things and like think in as long as they once lived. By capturing most of the carbon in like plants and animals and like figure like organisms.
We use respiration. Plant progress.
It's a plant process. It releases extra energy from their food, like their glucose, and carbon dioxide and water are the waste products of respiration. And then that's the what's it called? The equation for cellular respiration. And Okay. Rock formation.
A lot of rocks have carbon in them.
They're mostly sedimentary rocks. There are two kinds of sedimentary rocks. I never learned how to say this word. That kind of rocks, and carbonate rocks. So there's a whole kind of rocks that are sanitary or carbonate. So carbonate rocks. Some of the carbonate rocks are limestone, which is a sedimentary rock; dolostone, which is a sedimentary rock; marble, which is a metamorphic rock; intrusive carbonites, which is igneous; and then volcanic carbonate lava, which is igneous. And both of the igneous ones are really, really rare.
Limestone.
Dolostone, marble, intrusive carbonite, and then the lava. Weathering. Okay, we talk about weathering. This is actually a really big one. Weathering, we talk about the Urey reaction. So there's this guy, and his name is Harold Urey. Okay. Now Harold Urey said that chemical weathering on like mountain ranges would remove carbon from the atmosphere. And he proved it, and he said liquid water washes carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and converts it to carbonic acid. Carbonic acid weathers the rocks in the mountains and releases calcium and bicarbonate, and it kind of goes down the mountains and stuff into the ocean. Those two combine to create calcium carbonate through either carbonate rocks or carbonate shells that are on like snails or whatever that are in the ocean. Okay. Those things, like when a snail or whatever dies, when they sink to the bottom of the ocean, it goes down to the earth where the high temperature converts it back into carbon dioxide. So it actually goes into the mantle and it comes out in volcanoes. So, and it goes back into the atmosphere. That's Harold Urey. Okay, photosynthesis. So during photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide. I think that's pretty obvious. They use energy from the sun to combine carbon dioxide and water, and then it creates carbohydrates, and they use that as food. So flowers. Go back. Okay. So yeah, that's a pretty obvious one. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. The next one is deep circulation. I'll slow down. Okay. Deep circulation. So when water in the ocean or a sea or a lake gets cold, it takes in lots of carbon dioxide from the bottom of the ocean. When the water goes back to the surface, it loses carbon into the atmosphere. This is the diagram of it. Okay, so water heats and loses carbon dioxide at the surface. Water sinks, it hits the ocean floor or the sea floor, it picks up carbon dioxide, and then water goes back up to the surface, keeping it. So that's a diagram of how deep circulation. Okay. Sinking sediment. Okay. When phytoplankton die, they have shells, so they have carbonate shells. They sink and take their carbonate shells to the bottom of the ocean with them. That removes carbon from the atmosphere for like a really long time. So, yeah.
Oh. Talking about
Those are
generation.
phytoplankton. Burning. This is the last part. Okay, so this is a really big one because the mass of trees is like mostly carbon dioxide. So like if you look at, if this was a tree, it's made out of carbon dioxide, mostly. So. What are you doing? I didn't do anything.
Next. It's frozen.
Frozen.
It froze the same way.
Stop clicking.
Should I end it?
Control what?
Should I end it?
Oh yeah, stop clicking.
Control delete.
Just
try it.
don't start talking.
Let's delete it.
Yeah, Mary, you can stop.